So yesterday it was announced that the 2030 World Cup is going to be held in three continents, and Morocco, Spain, Portugal, Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay will be hosting matches. And the reason Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay is because it's 100 years since the first edition of the World Cup, and I think it was Uruguay that won that. So Uruguay, Argentina, Paraguay, I think will be playing their first games at home. So it's just when you first see it, you just think it sounds a bit crazy how they're gonna play this World Cup. I mean, how are teams, if they qualify, are they gonna have to travel to where? The logistics, everything about it. But then again, it's a bigger thing about football. I mean, we're in 2023 now, so it's 7 years away. So you don't know what could happen in those 7 years with football, or how football is going to look, or how many teams will be even competing in the World Cup by then. Probably every nation in the world will be allowed to play in the World Cup soon. So, but I think it's tradition as well. Like, have a World Cup, say in any country, Italy or I don't know, Brazil, anyway. It's like you're going to almost somebody's house, and the world's coming to one place for a month, and the carnival festival of it, the experience. Now, I don't know, people might say, yeah, but you bring the World Cup so everybody's sharing it. So, I mean, even just here, like, you've got three continents, so more people will be able to go to watch a World Cup and this, that, and the other. But I think sometimes there's a time and place for everything as well. Not everything has to be done all the time at the same time. So imagine if you've got a World Cup in Italy, for example. People can go from Europe or even different parts of the world. Obviously, it's going to be difficult for people like who living further away. Then the next World Cup might be in America, and then it's going to be more difficult for European countries fans to get there than probably for South American fans. So I think there has to be a time and place for everything. For me, just obviously I heard the news yesterday. It just takes a bit of that shine away. And one thing in life is that everything changes, and that's something that is a constant. And I don't know many people that like change, but obviously you have to embrace it. And like somebody said once, he who adapts. So it's just one of those things, just the tradition of it just takes away. And for me, it always comes down to thinking it's about money. The officials will probably say, yeah, we're trying to spread the game, this, that, and the other, but how much do you want to spread? How much can you spread the game as well? Are you going to go into countries that have no infrastructure of football and just say, yeah, we hear you like football, yeah, bang, we're going to give you a World Cup. But they've got no infrastructure of a World Cup. The country's first sport is in a World Cup, just stuff like that. So I don't know, if not everything is for everyone, shall I say, in the sense that certain places or countries have more of a tradition of football. And whilst we want to spread the game as well, there has to, I think, it's not in football, there has to be some sort of tradition as well, like I said, even for the players. So imagine if, I think they were touting that the final might be played in the Bernabeu or the Camp Nou. So imagine if Argentina get in the final, so they're just going to play their first match in Argentina, and then the rest of their matches in Europe or the final in Europe. So imagine the traveling there as well, the logistics for the players, and then it's um, just weird. But like I said, when you hear news first, you're always a bit shocked and surprised. Who knows what they might come up with? But for me, just on a personal note, I just like to see the World Cup in one place. Um, Makes a lot more sense on a lot of reasons. The only thing, like I said, I can see is from monetary reasons, which unfortunately for a lot of things, even the players now, how many matches they play. Just a little note on that as well. Same thing with the players. We're getting a lot of teams now, even the big teams, where they're playing players in certain matches for like 70 minutes and then taking them off so they can be fit for the other match. So players are almost playing half as much. Whereas if you had less matches, would the quality of the matches be higher? If you've got the players in better shape, better fitness. But now it's almost like you're playing the players like at maybe 70 or 80% because they've got another big game coming up or a game in a couple of weeks, stuff like that. So you hardly, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, how many times do you see a team consistently play their top players or their first team, what you would say is their best team? But like I said, just a little frustration there about the 2030 World Cup, but just in general how football is going anyway. There's been a change in the Champions League as well, so yeah, just a little frustration there, and probably more news will come out about this World Cup. So I might do another follow up. Yeah. So yeah, have a nice day, and let's see what more news comes out about this.